2016, the Washington State YesVets program was piloted in Klickitat, Kittitas, Skamania, and Yakima counties before expanding statewide. And whereas the program was built as a collaborative initiative between the Employment Security Department, the Washington Department of Veterans Affairs, the Society of Human Resource Management, the Department of Commerce, the Military Transition Council, and chambers of commerce, where employers who hire veterans receive recognizable window decals and other benefits. And in its inaugural year, the YesVets program won in 2016 International Association of Workforce Professionals Group Services to Veterans Award. And whereas Pierce County government has demonstrated its commitment to those who have served our nation in uniform by participating in the YesVets hiring initiative, actively recruiting and hiring military veterans, hiring 26 veterans into various positions in 2017, and pledging continued commitment to veteran employment in the years to follow. And whereas in 2017, Dan Corporal, a Marine Corps veteran and founder of the nonprofit Hire Our Heroes, partnered with National Day Calendar to formally establish July 25th as National Hire a Veteran Day, just 1 year after the YesVets had already launched here in Washington. Whereas President Trump signed the Honoring Investment in Recruiting and Employment American Military Veterans Act, creating Hire Vets Medallion Program, a federal award recognizing employers committed to veteran hiring, retention, and professional development. And federal agencies, including the Department of Labor, began using July 25th to promote that participation. Whereas the Department of Labor, Department of Veterans Affairs, and Veterans Benefits Administration all began actively promoting the National Hire Veterans Day in 2018 and 19 and 20. Whereas with over 1,000 Washington employers enrolled in 2021, the Washington State YesVets program became increasingly cited as a national model, with Washington Military Department and WDVA timing announcements and enrollment drives around July 25th, likening YesVets activity directly to the National Hire Veterans Initiative. And in 2022, Washington agencies formally began using National Hire Veteran Day as an occasion to spotlight veteran resources. Whereas Washington State Employment Security Department celebrated the 10th anniversary of the YesVets program in March 2026, with a celebration at the state capitol on March 20th. The program was being recognized as helping more than 2,500 employers hire over 9,000 veterans across Washington. And on July 25th, 2026, National Hire a Veteran Day marks the 9th anniversary. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed on this 21st day of July 2026, the Pierce County Council and the Executive that Saturday, July 25th, 2026 is designated National Hire a Veteran Day in Pierce County.
Let's give him a hand. So thank you for being here. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah, so I appreciate the opportunity, Madam Chair, council members. You know, as having spent 30 years of my adult life in the military, this is near and dear to me. And we hear a lot about the thank you vets, but one of my old units, we have a saying, acta non verba, actions not words, and the actions of the council and everything that you're doing for the veteran community does speak for that. So I applaud you for your actions and not just using it as a moniker, but actually living to serve the vets and help vets find employment and resources available. So with that, I can't thank you enough. After 30 years of service, this means a lot to me. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Do we have comments from any of my colleagues?
Of course.
Vice Chair Herrera.
All right, thank you, Chair. You know, as a veteran, the realities of working in the civilian world brings a bunch of challenges. Maybe just a place to fit in, right? And not all veterans were officers with four-year degrees or in special operations who have a strong after the military networking groups that can get them good government jobs, places. A lot of them were just regular folks who go back to their communities after serving 4 or 3 years. And most veterans come out of the military, they're positively impacted by their service. And it brings out their strengths and their attributes. But, I mean, what I've learned, and we've heard this before, that some civilian perceptions of veterans is that they're broken, or they're riddled with PTSD, or they just have such little skills that they're just knuckle draggers. Hire a Vet program kind of squashes those myths and helps bring out those attributes, those strengths that veterans bring when they come back to home. And it's usually they come back home with more appreciation because they left it and they love their community and they want to work there. So I really appreciate this program because it connects businesses that know nothing about veterans. And this is a veteran state. We talk about it all the time. This county for sure. And it's a great program that brings the two together. And I really appreciate the work being done. So thank you, Chair.
Thank you both for your service and your comments. Any other comments from my colleagues? Councilmember Denson, I'm not going to hold you to your prior promise because I know how passionate you are about this.
I kind of made a few comments before. Thank you, Chair, and I'm sorry I didn't see any other lights pop up. So I was just wondering if Rudy could do a short commercial to any veterans out there right now or veteran families about your services and how to get in looped in and how easy it is and how welcoming you all are, because all of that is really important. I'm sure there's a lot of trepidation when people go asking for help, right? In any kind of help. So what can you tell our veterans that are listening?
Yeah, absolutely, especially for veterans, right? It's very hard because we think we have it all together, right? And even as I was transitioning, being a senior, I thought the world was open to me, but I needed help. And that is something we provide at WorkSource Pierce, right? We're that place that comes, listens to you. We walk hand in hand with you through the journey that is trying to gain gainful employment, right? So you're not just a number to us, you're somebody special, right? And when you walk through Pierce's office, you will get the resources that you need and the support that you need, maybe from helping with a resume to actually sitting down with you on a computer and helping you plan or translate those veteran skills into actionable civilian skills. So to us, you're not a number. To us, you're somebody in need, and that is what we're here to do, is help out people that face barriers or have needs to employment.
Thank you so much. See, I barely said anything.
It was a really good plug and something I was going to mention as well. I think one of the things that really appreciate about the work that goes on is that you work to take the work of being in the military and turn it into how does this equate to something in the civilian world, because the acronyms and the different roles and all of that doesn't particularly line up over here, but you help people figure out how does that fit into a job at this corporation, and then how do we write a resume that actually shows that I do have those skills, and all of the work that it is to get over the hump of getting back into the regular world. And so I just really appreciate that, because it is really challenging, and I've heard this with our South Sound Military Partnership Group. That's one of the things that they really talk about. How do we get the military side and language on a resume to really show the skills that they have that they may not even know we're looking for? And so truly appreciate the partnership. So we are acknowledging the 25th as National Hire Vet. We have lots of employers